Okay, next step. This is actually did it already, so you select. No, this is the next step actually. Here it doesn't explain how you offset. It explains the offset over here in the -5 inches. By the way, this is incorrect. It's not -5 feet, obviously. It's 5 inches. Otherwise, the beams will go down almost halfway the floor. Now this is the starting point of what if we really want to start duplicating this guy. Do we have to do all these columns again and again? No. So by the way, I'm going to select the facade here that I see, pressing tab, hide element, and this one hide element as well. Okay, so I'm going to select the floors and now pressing control the columns. Okay, so you have all those selected, and I'm going to do a copy paste, and that's where these options come handy. The same way we did copy paste with the dimensions, you have another way of doing copy, and now you paste to select the levels. Now I want to select level 3, and you will see why. It's going to copy all that selection up in relationship to level 3. Now it's duplicating a lot of information, so that's why it takes a bit longer. There is. Okay. I'm going to do it again, but now I don't want this area here because I only want 2 floors here. I want all the floors there. I'm going to the section. I need to copy it to level 4, 5, 6, and roof level. Okay, so I'm going to select, control, select. Okay, so only those pieces. Copy, paste, select the levels, 4, 5, 6, roof level. I'm pressing control for each of them. Okay. Takes a couple seconds, hopefully. There you go. That's your building. Now, these floors that we're doing here, they're actually not roofs. So the last one, I'm going to get close, select, and delete. And we're going to place a proper roof, a flat roof up there, okay? So let's do it. I think I did that one. C-class recordings. Replace last floor in lab for lab roof. Architectural roof, roof by footprint. Now we're not going to place just any roof. We're going to select a specific roof, which is what is called a steel truss insulation and metal deck. So let's do that. Where do you guys think I have to place this roof? It has to be in the top level, no? So if we go to the section, it's going to have to be in roof level here. By the way, I could name this one lab as well. Roof lab, no? Say yes. So I'm going to go to the roof lab, double click, and I'm going to place a type of roof. Now I'm going to go roof by footprint, and we're going to follow these instructions. We're going to start with the steel truss insulation and metal deck, but we're going to duplicate it. So we're going to say edit type. Let's say preview here. We're going to duplicate it. We're going to change the steel truss, and we're going to name it actually lightweight insulation. So we just put LWL here. So it's and we get rid of the 2. Say OK. So we have our own roof. I'm going to say edit because we want to change the layers to what it shows here. Basically, we want a structure to be 4 inches and another structure, metal deck, to be 1/4 of an inch. The first structure should be concrete lightweight. So we just have to change here the material by clicking on that little button. We search for concrete lightweight. say OK, and this one is 4 inches. Now as you change here, it's changing the view, which makes sense. And here we're going to have metal deck 1/4 of an inch. So I could have actually moved that one, but I'm going to select there, little button, metal deck. OK, and 1/4 of an inch. And everything else is good. So we say OK. OK, and now we're placing that new roof that I just renamed. Now, how do we place it? We're going to place rectangle and 8 inches offset as well. And we're going to snap to the grid. Now I'm going to say OK, but remember when we do roofs, what was the issue going on? These symbols, anybody remembers what was that for? Yeah, so I'm going to say OK, so we see what we get. I'm going to go 3D. We got that beautiful thing, no? It's gorgeous. But we want it flat, okay? So I'm going to select it, edit footprint, and you could do that. I could have done it before and select all the lines and make sure that we don't have slopes there. Say OK. There we go. Now let's go to the section again. I think it's number 2. And here we offset these beams minus 5 inches. In this case we could have, omitted that change. And I'm going to do it again. Select, filter out everything but the framing structural, and I want those actually in 0. And it will pop up vertically. Now here's one thing I did incorrectly that in this video you're probably laughing now. You see how these ones look good, but where did I select these beams? From the section. I can select a bunch of stuff from the section by doing this, but I cannot select what's behind this section. So it's a tricky thing. So I recommend that you go to the 3D and you select again, just in case. The top, filter out everything but the structural framing, and it's going to tell you start level offset nothing and nothing. That means that there's 2 different numbers, minus 5 and 0. So I'm going to say 0 to both and apply to make sure that all the beams are offset perfectly. Okay, I'm going to save that. Okay, we're going to do the same for the gym building in the gym roof. So exactly the same steps, and now it's going to be easier because we have created the roof already. So we need to go to the gym roof, which is here. Double click. We're going to create a roof by footprint. I'm going to say rectangle 8 inches and lightweight, the new duplicated that we did, and we're going to snap to the grids. Now remember not to stop there. You're going down to your building there, and you say, well, before saying OK, because I have learned my lesson, I'm going to skate a couple times, select the lines, and omit the defined slopes, no? So it comes flat already. 3D. That looks good. Let's go to this section. I believe it's section, actually can go to level 1 and see this section. Double click, and I'm going to go to detail or find view. What is the problem here? The problem is that the trusses, the bottom is correct. We wanted bottom of truss gym, but the top we want it to be attached to the roof. So for that there's the command attach top bottom. So if I select the roof, and again that's the dashing line, the dash line, let me see if it comes there, automatically you get the attached top bottom. You can attach also trusses, not only facades as we did other times. So I'm going to select all of them by pressing Control. By the way, these ones could be like the section better to select, so I'm going to say section 1, and here I think I can select like this. Let me see. Nope, I selected the facade, not good. Just Control C that just in case. Here, filter out everything but the trusses, You can even go to the 3D to double check. I don't know if I deselect them by mistake. Anyway, you have to select them all from either view. It's fine as long as you select only the trusses. The second you select something else, the attached top bottom is going to disappear, so you're going to know perfectly what to select. Come on, there you go. There you go. Attached top base roof. So it's going to move all the trusses up until it touches that roof. Another classic problem here is they could tell you I cannot do that. The reason is that your roof is actually smaller than your trusses, so the trusses are trying to go up and attach themselves to nothing. So always the roof has to be bigger than the trusses, okay? Good. Okay, next is the extrusion roof, okay? So if I go to roof by extrusion, the first thing is going to tell me, hey, where do you want to draw that line that afterwards you're going to extrude and it's going to be a roof? Okay, so this is something like of a more advanced settings, but I'm going to close that and explain a bit what the set and show mean. These buttons, if you're not in any tool, you can click and the same window appears. Okay, you can set your little plane of working plane to any grid line or any level you want. You can also say pick plane, and you're going to understand now. If I say OK, I can click on a plane. It seems like nothing happens, but if you press show, you see that kind of a grid in blue? That means that you have set the working plane there. You can change the working plane anytime you want by pressing set, pick, OK, select, and you see how that plane changes? Okay, so I'm going to say set. You could say pick plane, this one, and there it moves the plane. So now if I create a roof by extrusion, it's always going to do the line in this extrusion, okay? So I'm going to set, I'm going to create it here because why not? You guys should experiment with extrusion. I'm going to say now roof by extrusion, and it's going to ask me where do you want it. I'm going to say to bottom of truss atrium, okay. And now we just need to go to that view, which is the left view in this case, but in your case could be from the other view, which is, I'm going to draw a curve. And use your snapping tools to make sure you go always to the end of the building, and like that. You see how your trusses are here? You always have to be your line on top of the bottom truss line, because we're going to say attach top to bottom, okay? So I'm going to say OK in 3D, and look what happens. Always by default extrudes the roof all the way to the end of whatever building, but you can select this little arrow and taking it out. Okay, so again, if you select the roof, you can move this anywhere you want. You can also use the AL as in align command, select this plane and then that plane, and it snaps in 3D as well, not only in 2D. Okay, now the last step is selecting the trusses one by one, not the columns, and not that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Attach top, bottom, roof, and they will all snap to them. Now if this roof for whatever reason was lower than the bottom of the truss, you won't be able to snap down. It has to snap upwards, okay? So I'm going to stop it there.